Well, good morning, my friends, and happy Thursday. I have to find my glasses. OJ moved them. Promise I was prepared. OJ, where's my specs? Hang on. Never mind. They were on my head. Good morning. Let's start this all over like that never happened. It is almost Friday. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, JM. Gaelic made it in. Connie's here, Walking Dead. Erica, she said she already threw her phone once today. Halo, yes. OJ got the blame for something that was 100% my fault. It's going to be hot as hell here again today. Woo! Oksana is on her way to a doctor's appointment, and she said, what's everyone going to do this weekend? Very simple. Very simple. Good morning, True Crime Beat. I'm going to stay out of the heat. That's it. I'm going to stay out of the heat. If you're going to go swimming, you better do it at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It just feels gross in the afternoon. It feels like bath water. Let's take a second. Pink Kelly knows. She said it's going to be 105 there. Where are you, Pink Kelly? Don't give me your address, just a rough area. Because now Jinbug isn't going to sympathize with me because she's an Arizona girl. True Crime Beat's not going to sympathize with me because she's a Florida girl. But I think this is our 8th straight day of over 100 degrees. Pink Kelly's in Arkansas. She's got the same weather as me. Yep. So you know what I'm talking about. Bruno said it's so hot in Panama City, but we don't have to wear socks. You guys know I'm very anti-sock. I don't like wearing socks. Let's take a second and wish our friend Oksana a get well. I did not know until this morning. She said she had a horrible car wreck a few months ago. And she's still recovering from it. She has another appointment today. Let's wish our friend Oksana get well. And good morning again to everybody except for Alicia Adams. I'm on the fence about Ivan with what has come out recently. We're going to get to that. Thank you guys so much for being here today for little Athena Brownfield, because I know the heat on the street, what people are talking about. But the fact that you pile in here for little Athena, well, tells me what I already knew. You guys are awesome people. Thank you for being here yesterday for an extremely old case, and that's the case of Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman. It was an extremely moving show with Laura's mom. I felt like I'd been to church. It was something else. Christina, where is her sister, Brooks? Athena's older sister is in Department of Human Services custody. She's in foster care. Last I had heard, she's doing well. They are not going to allow any kinship adoption. Good call, state of Oklahoma. Every now and then you get it right. And so she's a huge witness in this case. And I just hope that she's adopted by a wonderful family sooner than later. Phew, this is insane, all of this that came out about Athena. Okie Crime News says this is such a confusing case now. Why did Alicia say that? She is with a good foster family. I spoke with the caseworker. She's with the family. Okay, so that's great. She's with a good foster family. And I don't know why Alicia said it. but I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas on this. Several of you from the get said, I don't trust Alicia. I don't think it's what she said. We said something here's not adding up. Well, it's not, because the medical examiner has weighed in this week. I'm going to start with the comments first after we tell everyone hi, hello, howdy. Welcome, welcome. Okay, a couple of days ago, now I have to clean my glasses. They have hair gel on them. Woo! Woo! Alyssa Jones with KOCO. Breaking. The medical examiner says Athena Brownfield's cause of death was acute pneumonia, complicating malnutrition / homicide. The report says the 4-year-old was in less than the 3rd percentile of weight at 23 pounds and had a series of illnesses. Of course, we know her non-caregivers. Ivan, he's been charged for murder, and Alicia is charged with child neglect. I have a feeling with the medical examiner's report that's going to change, because when questioned and she waived her Miranda rights, Alicia said on Christmas night, Ivan beat her to death. Now, the final autopsy's coming out tomorrow, but one news article, and this was from Oklahoma News 4, said that the medical examiner, I'm going to read it to you and we'll get to it in further detail. The medical examiner's office said there was no evidence of physical lethal trauma. None. So what Alicia said was a lie. She even said that he punched her in the chest 3 times. At 23 pounds, that would have done some damage. Now, I had to jog my memory, so I went through my oldest son's baby book yesterday. Such a cute little chubby baby. He's 30 years old now. Let me tell you what, with my oldest son, I kept immaculate records. His first haircut, I've got it in a baggie in his baby book. Now, his younger brother, my 3rd child, I can't really say that I kept really good records. By the time my youngest came around, it was like, look, you're going to have to learn to use scissors on your own someday. So why don't you go ahead and just cut your hair? Not really. So anyway, I was going through it. At 1 year old, my oldest son weighed more than Athena at 4 years old. At 1 year old. At 1 year old. Let's look at the comments. I put it on the community tab about the medical examiner, the tweet, and you guys had a lot to say. Lake Life Mama said 23 pounds at 4 years old. My gosh. She said, my nephew is 13 months old and weighs more than that now. I can't with these people. It makes me so angry. Dina Lynn, the legendary, said pneumonia can be very serious. She said, I had it all the time as a kid. This little girl looked underweight, pale, sickly appearing. Ivan is a big guy. I remember picturing him doing what his wife said he did and thought that sure doesn't sound right. No. Shep said it sounds like she was worried about her own ass since she had not had custody legally, but she was in charge of Athena's care. Shep goes on to say, and threw Ivan under the bus before he could say anything. That's exactly what happened. Rowdy said, didn't her sister say she was hungry first thing? Yes, she did. When the mail carrier came across her older sister, Athena, she said, they left me. They left me. And she said, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. She'd been eating pancake syrup. My understanding is, now this is through people that are taking up for Ivan, he was under the impression that Shelly, who was Alicia's mom, was coming to get Athena. Doesn't matter because he shouldn't have left, period. He took his children to Arizona. Now, before we get to it, let's go through the cast of characters. In the upper left-hand corner, that's Ivan, the uncle. Then you have Alyssa, the aunt. Over in the right upper corner, that is Penny. That is the paternal grandmother of Adina and Athena. Below Penny, on the lower right, is Shelly. She's the maternal grandmother. She is the mother of Alicia and Jasmine. Jasmine is the biological mother. Then you see Athena. Wes is the biological father. And then the one with the filtered horns on her head, who's also in trouble now, is Athena and Adina's biological mom, Jasmine. Not a one of these people should have been around any children, period. A lot went on in this circle of non-giving a shit people. A lot went on. They are disgusting. True Crime Beat said, classy folks. Yeah, Jasmine drops off Adina and Athena at Alyssa and Adam and Ivan's house, not to babysit, like she was dumping off stray dogs or something. They had the kids for 1.5 years, 2 years. Now, mind you, their children flourished. Cheerleading, pageants, sports, well-fed, well-nourished. I don't know about Adina, but Athena, as we know, should have been taken to the hospital. She had pneumonia. 23 pounds. Obviously, Alyssa knew she was going to be in big trouble. It was also reported in the court documents that Alicia, in the time that she had the kids, she didn't enroll them in school, never took them to the doctor, but did for her own children. It's disgusting. So we start with, how did the children get to be in the care of the non-caregivers, Alicia and Ivan?
Police say Athena's mom left her in the care of Alicia and Ivan Adams as many as 2 years ago. KOCO's Elise Jones has been closely covering this horrible story since it began. Elise, so many people are asking right now, is it legal to just give your kids to someone else?
Well, Evan, the answer isn't clear. Sometimes DHS will place children with family members, but they haven't confirmed whether they had any involvement in this case yet or not.
Now, mind you, this was from January. This was from January. Now, since then, it has come out because a lot of people just made the assumption, and that's perfectly understandable, that Alicia and Ivan took the kids, whether it be for food stamps or they were planning on fostering them and they were going to get the money. But that doesn't seem to be the case because Department of Human Services had no idea they were with them. There was no civil agreement drawn up by an attorney. Jasmine just dumped them off and went to Stillwater with some dude named Demetrius. Let me tell you what, she is her sister's sister, because we're going to get to what old Alicia was up to while the kids were, well, not the kids, while Adina was fending for herself and Athena was buried by a fence line.
Now, an attorney told me today that parents have an obligation to make sure their children are cared for.
Ideally, if you're going to have a child that's out of your home for a significant amount of time, I mean, you would go through the court and give a legal guardianship to somebody.
Questions surrounding how these two caregivers, Ivan and Alicia Adams, became responsible for 4-year-old Athena Brownfield and her 5-year-old sister. A court document released Tuesday confirmed Athena Brownfield and her sister were living with Ivan and Alicia Adams after their biological mom left them in the care of the couple. It says Athena and her sister called them Mom and Dad, or Uncle Ivan and Allie. Attorney Link Gillette isn't affiliated with this case, but has been in family law for 15 years. He told me leaving your children with someone isn't necessarily illegal or criminally neglectful, but it comes with complications.
Ultimately, you as the parent have the responsibility as that parent legally responsible for your child, and you have to make safe decisions for your child.
Athena's 5-year-old sister was not enrolled in school, and the affidavit says Alicia and Ivan did not take either child for checkups.
Didn't take them for checkups, didn't enroll them in school. It's not like Alicia didn't have contact with Jasmine. She should have said, "Yo, sis, when you get done with those cheese fries at Eskimo Joe's, I need you to get down here with a birth certificate for the kids because it's pre-K and kindergarten time, sis. I wear a size medium in Eskimo Joe shirts. Bring me one since I'm raising your children." No, nothing. Didn't even take them to the doctor.
And the attorney says that parents are often worried to go through the courts to get someone else to care for their kids because of the cost or other issues. Now, Athena's biological parents have not faced any charges in this case, and OSBI says they are cooperating.
Cooperate, shamoperate. Well, fast forward a little bit and we're going to get to that. Jasmine is in trouble. As of today, I haven't heard of any charges against Wes, the biological father. Probably nothing's going to happen to him. It seems like he wasn't really in the loop. His mother's had a lot to say about how he was alienated from the girls. Jasmine was definitely the custodial parent. So yeah, she's in trouble. So we go to January 10th. A mail carrier came across Athena's older sister. She said she was hungry and said they left me. Well, that wasn't exactly what she was planning to do on her route that day, and she called 911. After questioning Alicia, she's the one in the beautiful orange right there. She doesn't look like a makeup influencer there. This is the statement that was given. Okay, again, on January 10th, 2023, 5-year-old, it says AA, that's Adina, was located wandering near her residence at 225 West Nebraska Avenue in Cyril, Caddo County, Oklahoma, by the mail person, Macy Turner. I have no need to talk to Macy Turner. I know when a lot of people were talking about this case, some creators reached out to her. She's going to have to testify in court. She's given her statement. I don't really think that there's anything she needs to do on YouTube. Just my opinion. Macy Turner called the local police, and Cyril Police Chief Garrett Rainey responded. Adina was forensically interviewed and disclosed that she had been home alone and she's tired of being alone. Rainey received a call from one of the caretakers of Athena, Alicia Adams, whom asked where Athena's 4-year-old sister Athena was located. At that moment, it was learned that Athena was missing. Now that's lie. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just say for now, lie number 1 of Alicia's, because she knew damn good and well Athena was not missing. She even knew where she was buried. Now, around this time is when she was shacked up at the No-Tell Motel with Bladen, having a magical weekend. Athena reported she called Alicia Mom and Allie, and called Alicia's husband Ivan Dad and Uncle Ivan. Athena and Athena's biological mother, Jasmine Brownfield, left the girls in the care of Alicia and Ivan approximately 1.5 to 2 years earlier. Alicia and Ivan never took the girls to the doctor, and they did not enroll them in school. Review of phone records for Alicia and Ivan did not match with what they reported to Flores. On December 26, 2022, between 4:15 and 5:30 in the morning, Ivan's phone records show his phone leaving 225 West Nebraska and traveling near Rush Springs, Oklahoma. Alicia and Ivan had a previous residence located in the Rush Springs, Oklahoma area. On January 12th, they re-interviewed Alicia and read her Miranda warning, to which she waived. Alicia confessed that on December 25th, around midnight that night, Ivan beat Athena and held her up by her arms. Athena was not moving and her eyes were barely open. He then laid her on the ground and punched her at least 3 more times in her chest. Athena never moved after that. This occurred at their residence on 225 West Nebraska. She says Ivan then left around 5 in the morning on December 26th with Athena. When he arrived back, he told Alicia that he buried her near a fence line that was next to their old residence in Rush Springs. He informed her he placed a large broken branch over the burial site. So it says, due to these circumstances, we believe Ivan Adams committed first-degree murder. But as we know, now we have the medical examiner's report, and I'm not taking up for Ivan. He could be the biggest POS in the world. I don't know the dude, but something's not adding up, because now we have a medical examiner, not a coroner, not a CNA, not an RN, not an LPN, but a doctor, a medical examiner that says her cause of death was pneumonia, and she was severely malnourished. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How do we know she didn't stop breathing from her pneumonia and he wasn't giving her CPR? Now, Ivan is a total, don't get me going. The authorities should have been called immediately. They should have been called immediately, not bury her out by the fence line like she's a stillborn puppy. Medical examiner's report goes on to say that there was no sign of physical lethal trauma. All right, so Alicia did tell him that much. She did tell him that much. I think that the reason she lied is because of the boyfriend, Bladen. I think she wanted Bladen to feel sorry for her. We'll talk about that in a minute. Her and Bladen had a magical weekend. It didn't take her long. They had Christmas, December 25th. Her and Ivan went to some murder mystery thing for New Year's Eve. And then the next weekend, she was shacked up in a hotel with Bladen, posting selfies of the two of them, a magical weekend in Moore, Oklahoma. Magical. Magical. It didn't take her long to go from one pogo stick to another.
Now, obviously,
Okay, that is what she said. But the medical examiner's report does not back up what she said. Obviously, with her Instagram and TikTok career, she never thought to Google how autopsies are done. She never thought about it. Good. And it's horrible. Horrible. They went out there, they dug her up. They've had a funeral. Now, let's go through a little bit of what Alicia had going on. December 25th, Alicia. Now, mind you, she got Facebook divorced real quick and changed her name from Alicia Adams to Alicia Galvin, okay? So that's why it says Galvin. She was done with Ivan's pogo stick and she went to Bladen's. She said, I would forget to get my roasting pan to cook my turkey. That's not all you forgot. You forgot to feed Athena, because at 4 years old, she weighed 23 pounds. How did they not hear that little girl coughing and wheezing with the pneumonia she had? She's a tiny little thing. According to her, Alicia, which doesn't add up, Ivan beat Athena to death that night. The next day, Annie buried her. Annie buried her at like 5:30 in the morning on December 26th. This is what she posted on December 26th. December 26th. National Mom Loses Her Mind Over Her House Day. That's all you've got to say? Athena just got buried by a fence line in Rush Springs. That's it? A few days later, she went and got her claws done. Kathy is the best. Look at that. She went and got some talons put on. Yeah, she had to get New Year's Eve ready. Here she is on New Year's Eve. Best night at Dinner Detective. There's her cheesy grin. There's Ivan creeping into the picture. Okay, that's New Year's Eve. The next weekend, she says best weekend. She's in Moore, Oklahoma at Warren Theaters with Bladen. She's with Bladen. That's the selfie she put on Facebook. Now, how did we go? He's drinking him a Coors Light at 9:30 in the morning. Now, how did we go from this best night at Dinner Detective on December 31st to best weekend with Bladen in Moore, Oklahoma, and we're taking selfies? Classy. Classy. All right. And Bladen was over the moon, in love. In love. Don't forget, she posted that was the most magical weekend I've ever had in Moore, Oklahoma. Magical. Magical. Bladen posted to Alicia, I just want to tell you how much this weekend meant to me. Best weekend I've ever had. Just one of many we will have. Life's a rocky road, but we're going to get through this and build something we never thought possible. Oh, you had no idea, Bladen. We got this, baby girl. Thank you for all you've done for me. Well, we know what she did for him at the hotel in Moore, Oklahoma. She did the horizontal boogaloo and took a bunch of selfies. Alicia responded, you're the best. Can't wait to build the best life with you. Okay, that received a heart from Bladen. Then her mother, Shelly Miller, puts some emojis with hearts for eyes and then some with like big eyes like they're surprised. Now, I do have a question. On December 31st, when she had the best night at dinner detective with pogo stick number 1, Ivan, somebody had to have been watching all the children, I guess. Was Shelly watching them? How was it explained to Shelly, who knows Jasmine's a deadbeat mom, where's Athena? How did they explain where Athena was? How did this happen? I don't think so. Bladen, obviously, her lie did work on him because he sent her commissary money. This is his ATM.com commissary order receipt to Alyssa Adams. Your credit card ending in charge $70.72 for order number you place for Alyssa Adams at Cato County Detention Center. So that magical weekend put him on the hook for some ramen noodles and beefaroni. Run, Bladen, run. All right, back to Alyssa. You know, what do they say? The first to talk is the first to walk. Well, she said Athena was missing. That's what she told Chief Rainey. And then she tells them this story that Ivan beat her to death. But now we have a medical examiner that said she wasn't beaten to death. She died from pneumonia and severe malnutrition.
The court wouldn't allow cameras in or outside of the room, but like you said, I was there as Alyssa Adams faced a judge for the first time. Now, in these court documents released today, we learned that Ivan and Alyssa Adams, the caregivers of Athena and her 5-year-old sister, had the girls in their care for 1.5 to 2 years. It says that their biological mom gave her daughters to this couple. Now, Alyssa, one of the girls' caregivers, is now facing 2 felony counts of child neglect, one for leaving Athena's 5-year-old sister unseen.
Now, when is this going to be escalated is what I want to know. Mind you, there's a gag order in this case. We're going to be seeing a lot more gag orders in these cases, and you know why. Not that we're doing anything bad around here. Because she obviously lied to the police. The medical examiner is not going to do anything to jeopardize his license and help out old Ivan. He doesn't care about pogo stick number 1. Hang on, Tiffany. I'm in these people's therapy center, Brooks. Behave, please. I'm trying, Tiffany. They make me too mad. So I cannot wait for these charges to unfold.
Supervised, the second for leaving Athena without protection from her husband, Ivan Adams, who allegedly murdered the 4-year-old little girl.
Now, how can you charge Alyssa, not taking up for Alyssa, with not protecting her against Ivan when the medical examiner's report says she wasn't beaten to death? She died of pneumonia and she was severely malnourished. Did Ivan not notice that Athena weighed what a 1-year-old should weigh? Was Alyssa purposely not feeding her? What is going on?
$500,000. That's the bond amount that was set today at the Cato County Courthouse as Alyssa Adams faced her fate. If posted, a judge ruled Adams will have to stay in Oklahoma, wear a GPS tracking device, and can't have any contact with witnesses, some of those who may be her own children. The public defender in the case put in an application for a gag order.
Oh, snap. Now, she's in jail, okay? but it just says if for some reason she bonds out. Nobody's running to the Caddo County Courthouse to bond her out, though, from what I can tell. She can't have contact with any of the witnesses, some that can be her own children. Remember, her and Ivan have children together that were in cheerleading, sports, pageants. They were fully nourished. Those children are going to have to, if they haven't already, say what happened in that home.
Saying it's impossible to have a fair trial with affidavits floating around social media. OSBI warned the public yesterday that social media rumors could hinder progress. This affidavit released today details what may have happened to Athena Brownfield. It says the caregivers never enrolled Athena's 5-year-old sister in school or took the girls to the doctor. Athena's sister told police when they found her all alone that she was, quote, tired of being alone. It's unclear how long that little girl was left without care. Documents say Alicia confessed to investigators last week that her husband, Ivan Adams, beat and killed Athena on Christmas Day.
And as if that wouldn't be horrible enough, I thought there was something very odd when Ivan was talking to the judge in Arizona. And he said, I have to get back to Oklahoma and get this cleared up. Imagine the look on Uncle Daddy Ivan's face, pogo stick number 1, when he realized that Alicia said he beat her to death. I'd like to know how he got talked into taking her out to Rush Springs and burying her as if she never existed. And whose bright idea was it to just leave Athena at home with nothing but white bread and pancake syrup? She was left alone almost 4 days.
We're going to keep pushing for answers for a clear timeline of what has happened in this investigation. I reached out to OSBI multiple times today with questions, including how the girls were in the care of the Adams family. We have yet to hear back on those questions.
Well, we know now. We know now. We know why the girls were in the care of Ivan and Alyssa. Because Jasmine just dumped them off. Nucky said these two are having it rough in jail. I can tell you that. You don't mess with kids. And I would like to know how it felt when Alicia got arrested and they put her in there and they had to remove the eagle talons off her hand. From what I understand, they don't do it nicely when you go to the pokey. She makes me sick. Again, I want to know how we went from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. We had the best weekend, best night at dinner, detective, New Year's Eve. Look at that shit-eating grin. Then we go to best weekend the next weekend with Bladen. She found the love of her life. She had a magical weekend in Moore, Oklahoma. Magical weekend in Moore, Oklahoma. What was magical about it? All right. They arrested Ivan in Arizona and extradited him back to Oklahoma. He is still in jail in Oklahoma. Alicia is still in jail in Oklahoma. We're going to talk about Jasmine in a minute because she got arrested too, but it was later. This is what he had to say in front of the judge.
A missing child case out of Oklahoma led investigators here to Phoenix, where one of the missing girl's caregivers was arrested this week.
Even though the 4-year-old girl has not been found, Oklahoma authorities issued a warrant for that caregiver's arrest on first-degree murder charges. True Crime Arizona's Brianna Whitney is here with us now with more on what we know about this case and what the suspect said in court today.
There's still a lot that's unknown. This is very bizarre. I mean, this was the second of 2 caregivers arrested in this case of missing 4-year-old Athena Brownfield. She seemingly disappeared from her rural Oklahoma town early this week. Her older sister, who was only 5, was found wandering around alone outside, but authorities remain tight-lipped about how they knew the suspect was in Maricopa County and what may have brought him here in the first place.
Sir, state your name and date of birth for me, please.
Neil Adams III.
Your bail in this case is $1 million cash.
Ivan Adams now behind bars in Arizona for murder, while his wife, Alicia Adams, is in jail for child neglect in Oklahoma, all connected to the disappearance of the little girl they're caregivers for, 4-year-old Athena Brownfield.
I'm thankful that all these people are here to help find her.
Athena's paternal grandmother, Penny Brownfield, one of dozens of people in Surreal, southwest of Oklahoma City, searching for Athena, who was reported missing Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, Penny is the mother of Wes. We have to put our map up again. Penny, I don't know when the last time she saw the girls. My understanding it's when Athena was first born and Adina was like a year old. Wes and Jasmine had a falling out. And next thing you know, Jasmine decides to go live her own life, footloose and fancy free. And she dumps Athena and Adina off on Alicia and Ivan. And they all say Penny's crazy. I don't think Penny's the craziest one in this bunch. That's just me, though. I have a lot of questions about Shelly, who is Alicia and Jasmine's mother. I have a lot of questions about her because she spent quite a bit of time at Alicia's house. You're telling me that Grandma didn't happen to notice that Athena at 4 years old weighed 23 pounds? Did she not notice that she had a fever? That she had pneumonia and needed medical attention? I don't think so. She's tagged in many, many, many of Alicia's posts, so she was around. How did this grandmother not know?
According to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, known as OSBI, a postal worker found Athena's 5-year-old sister wandering outside her home alone Monday and knew something was wrong. A search officially began for Athena as a missing child the next day. One of the girl's caregivers, Alicia Adams, was arrested Thursday on 2 counts of child neglect, but her husband, Ivan Adams, was nowhere to be found. While the OSBI wouldn't say much, they did say this.
We are actually getting tips from across Oklahoma as well as multiple other states.
Then an unexpected arrest of Ivan Adams on Thursday, but in Phoenix, on a felony warrant issued out of Oklahoma for child neglect and first-degree murder, despite Athena still being missing. Adams appeared in court Friday and waived his right to an extradition hearing.
I want to get there and take care of it.
Okay, so he waived the extradition hearing. He said, I want to get there and take care of this. Well, I'm wondering what his attorneys are going to do, because Alicia's statement on January 12th, 2023, Flores re-interviewed Alicia and read her Miranda warning, to which she waived. Alicia confessed that on December 25th, 2022, around midnight that night, Ivan beat Athena, held her up by her arms. Athena was not moving and her eyes were barely open. He then laid her on the ground and punched her at least 3 more times in her chest. Athena never moved after that. This occurred at their residence on 225 West Nebraska. Then he took her out to Rush Springs and buried her. Hello, BX. So that's what she said. But the medical examiner is saying she had no physical lethal trauma. She died of pneumonia and malnutrition. So Ivan who needs to be in big trouble for tampering with a corpse, not reporting a death, along with Alicia. He says, I've got to get there and take care of this, because he has to know that this is not true. Good morning, Fun Size. Fun Size came in to say, hola, hello. I thought this was an odd statement. I've got to get there and take care of this.
I don't want to hear it here.
That means Oklahoma authorities have 30 days to come and get him. The OSBI did not give any details Friday on how and why Ivan got to Arizona or what evidence they have to charge him with child homicide when Athena is still missing. Authorities believe Athena was wearing a hoodie with a butterfly design on it when she disappeared. The little girl's grandma said earlier this week their family situation is complicated and personal, but that Athena's 5-year-old sister is safe in protective custody. As for little Athena, she will not stop searching until she is found.
She looks just like my daughter, Megan. And yeah, I'm just lost for words.
I wonder what old Penny thinks now that the medical examiner came out and said she was 23 pounds and had several illnesses, one being her cause of death, which is pneumonia. Now, some people have argued about this a little bit. What do you think about the state of Oklahoma saying they would not consider a kinship adoption within this family? I say right on, considering what's going on. What says you? What do you guys think? And some of you have adopted your grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins. So in that respect, I see how that would be very unfair, but it kind of seems like everybody in this family failed Athena and Adina. That's how it seems to me.
Now, if Oklahoma authorities do not come get Ivan Adams from Maricopa County within these 30 days, the county will release him, but that first-degree murder warrant will not go away. Of course, we're hoping to get more details here in the coming days from Oklahoma authorities as to where they are in the search and the investigation for Athena and what specifically led them here to Arizona, where they found him.
Well, what led them to Arizona is he took his children that he has with Alicia to Arizona and got the hell out of there when she found another pogo stick. That's what happened. He got the hell out of there. A man only has to see a few of these pictures floating around his wife's Facebook to where he says, I'm out of here. What are you talking about, a magical weekend in Moore, Oklahoma? He grabbed his kids and got the hell out. He was like, I'm not sticking around for this. Nucky said, hell no, there shouldn't be a kinship adoption. I did a kinship adoption with my son. But see, you are a very, very good parent. I mean, who in this family could be trusted with Adina? And don't forget, there's other children. There's also other children. Alicia and Ivan have children together. Now, I don't know what the state of Arizona is doing about that. If maybe his parents have the children, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, as we discussed on the show, I believe it was January, February, March, somewhere in there, we said, are there going to be charges on Jasmine? When are they going to charge Jasmine? She just dumped her kids off with Alicia and Ivan. Athena would be alive had that never happened. They did not provide either of the girls proper care. They didn't go to the doctor. They didn't go to school. All Jasmine had to do was provide a birth certificate and enroll her kids in school. Well, she got charged.
Continuing to follow a breaking update in the tragic murder of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield.
The young girl was killed and buried by her caregiver on Christmas Day. Today, charges were filed and an arrest warrant was issued for her biological mother. News 4's Natalie Clydesdale has the update.
Well, Jolene, the OSBI confirmed to us just an hour ago that Jasmine Brownfield has officially been arrested. She's facing 2 counts of child neglect.
New details in the
Look at her mugshot. Look at that.
New details in the horrific case
of child neglect.
See, this is another one. She found Demetrius, that looks like the skinny guy on My Name is Earl, shacked up in Stillwater, Oklahoma, spending their time eating cheese fries at Eskimo Joe's. And look at that. We're supposed to feel sorry for her? Angela Halo said, my 19-month-old son weighs 38 pounds. Not overweight, just tall. I can't believe how tiny she was. How awful. Yeah. My son was 26 pounds at 1 year old. But at 4 years old, Athena was 23 pounds.
New details in the horrific case that put the small town of Cyril in the national spotlight this winter. The search for Athena Brownfield began in January after a postal carrier found her 5-year-old sister wandering around alone outside. That week, the children's caretakers were arrested by the OSBI. Alicia Adams for 2 complaints of child neglect, and Ivan Adams for child neglect and first-degree murder. Court records revealed Ivan Adams allegedly beat Athena to death on Christmas Day. Her remains were
And in this case, it's more than appropriate to say allegedly, because Alicia is a Class A liar. She lies about everything. What did she tell Bladen when they were having their magical weekend? When she was having her magical weekend in Moore, Oklahoma, what did she tell her new pogo stick? She has children. He had to have known. She's all stretched, marked up. Where's your kids? Oh, the pogo stick I'm still married to took him to Arizona. But don't worry, we're still going to have a magical weekend.
eventually found buried on a property in Rush Springs. Today, charges were filed in Caddo County District Court for Athena's biological mother, Jasmine Brownfield. State agents confirmed to News 4 this evening that Brownfield's facing 2 counts of child neglect.
We're told Brownfield will spend the night in the Payne County Jail.
Now, woohoo! Jasmine had to spend the night in the Payne County Jail. Obviously, her bond is not as high as Alicia's. Angie Baby said, I want to know why she lied about her being beaten. I do too. I think she made that up to get herself out of hot water. And also, she wanted to gain sympathy from her Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok people that she thinks she influenced. And I think she wanted to gain sympathy and save some face with Bladen, which obviously worked a little bit because he was sending her beefaroni money on her commissary. I think that's the whole reason she made it up. Because the medical examiner isn't going to lie. This is what KOCO said that the medical examiner dropped a few days ago.
Now, new details in the disappearance and death of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield. A summary autopsy report shows she likely died from acute pneumonia made worse by malnutrition. Now, the little girl was reported missing in Cyril in January before investigators found her remains a week later in Rush Springs. Now, her death has been ruled a homicide. Brownfield's caretakers, Ivan and Alicia Adams, are both charged with child neglect. Ivan is also charged with first-degree murder. The full autopsy report will be issued Friday.
The man accused of killing 4-year-old.
Friday. Don't worry. We are going to look at that. because this is the tweet that KOCO put out. The medical examiner says Athena Brownfield's cause of death was acute pneumonia, complicating malnutrition, homicide. Now, I want to know what the homicide is. I guess that's malnutrition could be homicide. See, this is kind of like a Sarah Boone in a way, where the truth would have been better. The truth would have been better to say, listen, she'd been sick for a long time. We didn't know what to do. She died on Christmas Day. We didn't know what to do because we weren't even supposed to have her. And so my husband, I told him to go bury her. But instead, she said Ivan beat her to death. And if you look at this from the medical examiner's office, the medical examiner's office says there was no evidence of physical lethal trauma. Athena's official cause of death is acute pneumonia, complicating malnutrition. The report says that Athena was under the 3rd percentile per weight for stature, weight for age, and stature for age growth charts. In addition to pneumonia, she had Rhinovirus, human Adenovirus, I don't know what that is, human Bocavirus, don't know what that is, and COVID-19. They always got to throw the COVID in there. Pneumonia is pretty damn bad, but she was not beaten. Now, this does not in any way, shape, or form make Ivan a good guy. You see, when a child dies of pneumonia in your home, you don't just take them out and bury them. You call 911. That's what you do. But at 23 pounds, and Ivan's a big, big guy. If Ivan seriously punched her in the chest 3 times, there would be something to show that. But they're saying cause of death is pneumonia. The autopsy's coming out tomorrow. We're going to go through it. A lot of people said, well, what was Alyssa doing? I mean, if Athena's 23 pounds, what was Alyssa doing? She obviously took care of her other children. They were in pageants. They were well nourished. You could see they were eating. Nice clothes. I mean, what was she doing that Athena was so neglected? Well, here's one thing she was doing. She loved that TikTok shit. So while she should have been caring for the children, she was playing TikTok.
Let me show you exactly how much of a psycho crazy bitch I can be. You think I'm a psycho? Let me show you exactly how much of a psycho crazy bitch I can be. You think I'm a psycho?
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad. You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad. You know I'm the face.
You said fuck me, and I was like, cool. So now what's the problem? You said fuck me, and I was like, cool. So now what's the problem?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These hoes don't like me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These hoes don't like me.
So as you can see, she was super busy. She was super busy. She's got tons of TikTok videos.
Look, I ain't even finna argue with a bitch. One thing I know, 2 things for certain. None of these hoes saying shit to my face. And look, I ain't even finna argue with a bitch. One thing I know, 2 things for certain. None of these hoes saying shit to my face. And look, I ain't even finna.
What's all this with hoes and these hoes don't like me? Who's the one who's a married woman with children that was at the Warren Theaters with Bladen saying best weekend, taking selfies with him drinking Coors Light at the hotel in Moore, Oklahoma. These hoes don't like me. No, they don't. Who's the hoe? Weren't you supposed to be taking care of the children?
Yeah, hold up, Diddy. Hit him with part two, son. Yeah, hold up, Diddy. Hit him with part two, son. Yeah, hold up, Diddy.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Soldier Boy, tell.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Soldier Boy, tell.
She thinks a lot of herself.
You know that song that's like, Mount Everest ain't got shit on me, cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Yeah. You know that song that's like,
what's with all the winking?
Okay, so I'm going to be making some coffee. I do not have our chicory, so I'm just going to use the Great Value iced coffee that I do in the fridge. And I'm going to, of course, use our collagen at the bottom of the cup. Add my ice.
Can someone explain eyebrows to me?
My coffee, I do half full, some coffee in a regular cup. Then you get your scoop of collagen, pour it in your cup. So usually I have a frother, I can't find it. Frother's better than a spoon, I think. So I give this a stir. Pour that in my cup. I add just a little bit more caramel. I add just a little bit more caramel. Okay, so I'm going to be making some coffee. I do not have our chicory.
I only call you in it. I only call you in it. What I wanna do with you. I know them other guys they've been talking about. What I want.
Such a sex pot. My goodness. Those eyebrows. I mean, is that a Sharpie?
This is okay, but what if I went like this? This is okay, but what if I went like this?
She can't even lip sync good. She can't even lip sync good.
Woke up this morning, got up out of my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for another day. All the blessings that's in my way. Woke up this morning, got up out of my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for another.
I'm always forced to do shit I'm not qualified for, like being nice to fucking idiots. I'm always forced to do shit I'm not qualified for, like being nice to fucking idiots.
Like taking care of children, like making sure Athena had food. You're obviously not qualified to fill in your eyebrows. Like taking care of idiots. Being nice to idiots. Now, mind you, these are TikTok filters. She is a horrible person. She is a horrible person. And I want to know when, like I told you, there's a gag order, so I can't tell you. But it seems that this story that she spun about him beating Athena to death, mind you, what happened was bad enough. But the story about beating Athena to death is not true. Because again, the medical examiner said her cause of death is pneumonia. It's not from being beaten in the chest. She said he pulled her up by her arms and her head fell back and her eyes were barely open. Do you think that maybe she was having trouble breathing and he picked her up hoping to get her to breathe? I don't know. I wasn't there. By now, he's talked to his attorney. Didn't think anything about the children that were in her care. I want to know, considering Shelley spent so much time around them, how did Shelley, we have to go back to our map, how did Shelley's the maternal grandmother, she's in the bottom right-hand corner, how did Shelley not realize that there was something very wrong with her granddaughter Athena and that Athena needed medical attention? Does anybody in this grid on the screen, Ivan, Alicia, Penny, Shelley, not Athena, Wes, Jasmine, do any of them give a shit? Any of them? Because we know Alicia doesn't. We know she doesn't. The day after Athena's so-called murder, which was not murder from what the medical examiner said, this is what she posted. Knowing that Ivan had just gone out to Rush Springs to bury Athena, she says December 26th, National Mom Loses Her Mind Over Her House Day. And again, I would like to know, on New Year's Eve, when her and Ivan were having their best night at Dinner Detective, who was watching the children and how did she explain Athena not being there? We have a lot more questions than we did before. It's absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. All right, guys, this has been a great show. Thank you for going through this with me. Thank you for going through this with me because Athena deserves this. She deserves the truth and she deserves justice for what happened to her. She should not be dead. She should have had loving caregivers, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. She should have been in a pre-K school. She deserved much better than what Alicia Adams, Ivan, Jasmine, Wes, and I hate to say it, the grandparents and what the grandparents dealt to her. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. We have some stuff to talk about with one of your favorites and mine, Sarah Boone. Boone is back at it again. If I miss you in Discord or one of the Facebook groups, then I will see you back here at 9 a.m. Thanks for being here for Athena, and I'll see you tomorrow.